Well, hello, and welcome back to another video of mine. I am filming this because I filmed two videos on Monday. Today is Wednesday, and the microphone was not plugged in all the way, so the audio didn't work. I even uploaded it to YouTube, got it ready to be scheduled to release on Saturday, and none of that worked. So I'm actually not going to be talking about those two topics that I was talking about in those videos. I'm going to wait a little bit longer to do them. I talked about photography journey and college dorm life and friends. I was supposed to do something else today, but it got canceled, so I was like, well, I just took a shower and I have some free time to film a video, so might as well sit down and do it. So my hair is wet, I didn't put on makeup. The lighting is a lot better since it's earlier in the day, and usually I'm filming like a little bit later. As you saw in the last video of mine, the New Year video, it got very dark towards the end. Very sorry about that. This one is very bright, stark contrast. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Very long intro, it's a minute something at this point. I'm going to be talking about college academics and maybe post-grad if I get to that in the video. Not quite sure yet, but I went to Cal State Long Beach, which is a state school in California, and I went there straight out of high school. It's really funny. I did not want to go there. I thought it was like kind of a lesser than school, the safe choice, and just not as prestigious as like UCLA and those types of schools. So I went there and I studied film. I originally went in thinking I was going to do narrative production, which you don't apply for until your sophomore year, and then you start the program your junior year. So that kind of threw things off because I added a minor because I came in with so much credit. I came in as a sophomore standing, but because I still had to take certain classes for prerequisites for that film major I thought I wanted to do, I could not do that, and I needed to fill up my classes because basically all of sophomore year was just kind of nothing. Like it could have been like a scratch year, whatever you want to call it. Like it could have just not existed, which is why I had a minor. So that added a lot of classes to my schedule, and it filled it up because I needed something to do. But once I applied for the narrative production program, first, as I was applying, I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this, but I'm going to apply and see what God has for me. If it's His will for me to do it, then I will. I mean, I'm still interested in it. I'm just not doing a lot of this in my free time anymore, trying to get on sets and stuff like that. I'm mostly writing. So I applied, I didn't get accepted. I wasn't really surprised. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing screenwriting then, I guess. But I was studying abroad in Ireland at the time, taking 2 journalism classes, a film class, and then a fun class, which was equestrian. Go watch my video that I'll link down below, or have it at the end of the video as like a side card of that fun adventure with Ireland academics. But so that was a huge thing for me. It kind of pushed things back. I could have graduated in honestly maybe 2.5 or 3 years had I not done what I did, but I also probably wouldn't have studied abroad if I didn't minor in journalism and have that like weird gap thinking I was going to do narrative production. So, you know, hindsight's 2020, LOL, but I am still glad that that's the way things went because my life would be very different had it not gone that way. So I ended up emphasizing in screenwriting, and like I said, I minored in journalism. That was kind of an adventure. At first, I thought I wanted to minor in marketing. I was like, I don't want to take accounting. And then I thought I wanted to minor in communications, and I was like, why? Like, that just feels very unapplicable to things. So I was like, journalism is writing as well, different form. I feel like it has some more relevance to things. So I ended up doing that. And yeah, so what should I say about college academics? One, I talked about this in my high school video, academics, so I guess I'll have that somewhere at the end of the video or link down below. But I took AP classes, which had a huge impact on my college academics. Not all colleges translate AP classes as much. I know the UC schools don't do it as much as state schools, and private schools have their own system. So can't really say whether it's like super beneficial for you or not, but for me, it really was. It totally changed my college academics, and I am really grateful for that. Other things I would say about college is, I don't know, it's really just up to you what you want to do and take. Like, there's Rate My Professor, which can be really helpful. That definitely influenced what classes I took. I made my schedule really inconvenient my last semester because I didn't want to take this one class because of a certain professor, and so I came in on another day for a night class, and I was a commuter at this time, so it wasn't super convenient, and I did it because of the professor. I could have had 2 classes on Thursday and, knock those out of the way, but I decided to go in on Monday, and so I had to go 3 days a week. I had a Monday class, a Wednesday class, and a Thursday class, and then an online class, so 4 classes total. So that is kind of, things to consider. Some professors can make or break your semester, so choose wisely, and if that means having an undesired schedule, sometimes, honestly, that is more preferable because you won't be drowning in the terrible class that you could be avoiding. So that is a huge thing. Also, take advantage of office hours. I did not do this that much. Professors would always say, I have office hours. And you're like, okay. I did do it more often with screenwriting because I wanted feedback on my scripts, and that was really important to me. So I think if a class is really important to you and you want to get the most out of the class, like it's in your major and it's a very specialized class, then definitely take advantage of office hours, because once you graduate, if you want feedback from your professors, that's going to cost you money because you're paying for the class, so you might as well take full advantage of the resources that they give you. And so if you're not taking advantage of office hours, do that, because it's once you graduate, you're like a free bird, and you have to pay for that stuff if you want feedback on writing or art projects or whatever field you're in. Advice even. So yeah, definitely do that. If you're, not really caring about the class and you don't like the professor, then don't do office hours. But even if it's not your major and you just like the professor, I definitely wish that I would have done that more often, because I had some pretty cool professors, and I think, you just get lazy and you're like, why would I go out of my way to go back on campus and meet with my professor when I don't have to, and it can be kind of intimidating, but think about it. Another thing I would say with college academics is upper division classes. You have to have certain requirements. Some of them can be hard. I had to take a writing intensive, and my writing intensive was my journalism class, so honestly, it wasn't that bad because in a journalism class, I'd have to be writing a lot anyways, so that was really nice and convenient. It was not that bad at all. I know that there was a film writing intensive I could have taken, and it was a mixed bag on how hard it was. Some people were like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever, and some people were like, it's not that bad. And then I had a friend take a history writing intensive. I don't know why, but I think that was the only one that fit in her schedule, and she thought it might be kind of interesting, and she was drowning the whole semester. So that's where you really take advantage of Rate My Professor and looking at what other students say. I was very grateful. I would have had to write in that class anyways. So yeah. Some of my upper division classes were pretty chill. I had a film upper division class that was super chill, and yeah, I don't know, it was great. I enjoyed it. So let's see, what else could I talk about? Talked about office hours, talked about upper division classes. I don't know, college was really not that bad. Maybe it's kind of after you give birth, all the euphoria, you forget how terrible giving birth was, because now you have this beautiful child. I'm a year post-grad now, so maybe that's me. I'm kind of oh, college wasn't that bad, and then I'm let's have another. You know how you do that with kids, and so it's let's go back to school, let's get a master's. That's kind of how I'm at right now, especially with post-grad not looking the way it does. Oh, I guess that's something I I guess I just transitioned into post-grad without even realizing it. So post-grad, definitely something that I heard about from my friends who had already graduated. That's a very like hard time to figure out what you're gonna do. Am I gonna use my major? Am I gonna go into like the stereotypical field? Am I gonna do something different? Am I gonna go to grad school? What am I gonna do with my life? So I had all of that, plus a lockdown, economy being completely destroyed, and, you know, people freaking out about COVID. So that was super fun to enter that. I remember February, I was like, I'm gonna be a travel agent. This is great. I figured it out. I am going to start applying for jobs in August because I had some things lined up before August. And then everything stopped. And I was like, well, travel's not a thing right now, so I guess I'm not gonna be a travel agent. And then I like tried to think of, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll do copywriting, or maybe I'll do social media, or, you know, whatever it may be. None of those really panned out. And then I got introduced. Oh, my timer went off telling me to shut up. I'll wrap it up. So then I got introduced to Christian nonprofits, and so that is kind of the direction I want to go in right now. And if I go back to get my master's, then I will probably do something with that. So that is college, academics, post-grad. I don't know if that was helpful, but just give yourself grace being post-grad, figuring out life. I think once you graduate, you think, okay, I have to know what I'm going to do. I'm graduated. I have to have something. Because when you're in school, everyone's just like, oh, well, you're in school. Like, it's whatever. And then when you graduate, like, okay, what are you doing with your life? Like, what'd you major in? Are you going to use it? What's your job? And so it can make you feel really bad. But yeah, that is all I have to say. I know this is going to cut me off soon because I'm running out of memory, and I should shut up. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Also, my hair is in a bun and it's falling out, so there's that. Hopefully the lighting wasn't too bright.